My beloved, you have been fighting so hard, my child, not just against your trials, but against the very appearance of them. You have waged a secret, exhausting war to hide your struggles, to conceal your wounds, to present to the world a facade of strength and of wholeness. You have looked upon your weaknesses, your failures, your periods of doubt and despair, and you have felt a profound and chilling shame, believing these struggles to be a source of your disqualification, a sign of your unworthiness, a terrible secret that must be hidden at all costs. They, the world, may have reinforced this, and prizing only the appearance of victory and having no room for the messy reality of the battle. And so you have carried the immense burden of your secret struggle all alone. But I come to you now, my gaze seeing past every facade to the valiant, struggling heart within, to speak a truth that will transform your shame into your glory. Your struggles, my beloved, will be your testimony. I know the specific nature of this shame, this pain of the secret struggle. It is the agony of feeling like an imposter, of living a life that feels like a performance. On the outside, you have cultivated a smile, a capable demeanor, a sense of having it all together. But on the inside, in the silent chambers of your own heart, a fierce battle has been raging. You have wrestled with anxieties that have threatened to consume you, with sorrows that have felt bottomless, with temptations that have left you feeling weak and unclean, with failures that have filled your soul with a deep sense of shame, and the effort required to maintain the outer peace, while the inner war has raged, has been a source of profound and lonely exhaustion. You have been driven by the powerful fear of being found out. You have believed that if people saw the truth of your struggle, if they witnessed your moments of weakness, of fear, of despair, they would turn away from you. They would see you as a failure, as a hypocrite, as someone who is not as strong or as faithful as they appear to be. And this fear of judgment, of rejection, of losing the respect or the love of others, has forced you to build a prison around your own authentic heart, to live a life of careful image management, a life that has been incredibly isolating. This shame has led you to believe that your struggles are your disqualification. You have looked upon those who seem to move through life with an effortless grace, and you have compared their apparent wholeness with your own secret brokenness. And you have concluded that your struggles disqualify you from being truly used by me, from being a source of light or of hope to others. How can I minister to another's brokenness? Your heart has cried. When I'm so broken myself, how can I speak of victory when I feel so defeated? How can I be a testament to God's goodness when my own life is filled with such struggle? This feeling of being disqualified, my child, has been one of the enemy's most potent lies against you. A lie designed to silence your voice, to neutralize your purpose, and to keep you locked in a state of solitary shame. I have seen every moment of this secret war, my beloved. I have seen the immense courage it has taken for you to simply face each day, wearing the heavy armor of your public persona while your own spirit was bleeding within. I have seen you fighting your battles in the lonely watches of the night, with no one to witness your valor. I have seen you choosing, again and again, to show up, to love, to serve, even when you felt you had nothing left to give. And I must tell you, my heart has not been filled with disappointment at your hidden struggles, but with a profound and overwhelming pride at your beautiful, tenacious, and heroic endurance. For I see with different eyes, my child, where you have seen a shameful weakness to be hidden. I have seen a beautiful vulnerability that has kept your heart soft and open to me. Where you have seen a disqualifying failure, I have seen a humbling experience that has been forging within you a profound compassion and an authentic wisdom. Where you have seen a reason to hide, I have seen the very raw material of your most powerful and effective ministry. The world may be impressed by a story of easy, untroubled victory, but heaven is moved by a story of grace in the midst of a real and difficult struggle. A testimony that is born of a perfect life is a testimony that can offer little hope to a broken and struggling world, but a testimony that is born of a real, human struggle, a testimony that can say, I have been in the depth, I have known the fear, I have wrestled with this very same darkness, and let me tell you of the God who was with me there, who held me there, who brought me through. That, my child, is a testimony of immense, life-giving power. And this is the beautiful, redemptive purpose that I have been weaving from the very threads of your own secret struggles. Your pain has not been a punishment. It has been a preparation. Your weaknesses have not been your disqualification. They have been your qualification for a deeper, more authentic, and more compassionate purpose. I have not been allowing your struggles in spite of my love for you. I have been allowing them because of my love for you, because I intend to transform them into the very foundation of your greatest strength and your most beautiful offering to the world. Let this truth begin to heal the shame that has kept you in isolation. You do not need to hide your struggles from me, for I have seen them all, and I have honored them all. And soon, you will come to a place where you will no longer feel the need to hide them from the world, for you will understand that they are not your shame, but your glory. They are the evidence of your resilience, the proof of my faithfulness, and the very substance of the beautiful, powerful, and life-giving story that your life is destined to become. So cease your frantic efforts to appear whole. My child, let go of the exhausting burden of your own perfection and begin to see your struggles not as a source of your shame, but as a very raw material of your sacred testimony. For I promise you, with a certainty that cannot be shaken, that the very things you have most wanted to hide are the very things I will use most powerfully to bring healing, hope, and light to others, and a deep and beautiful purpose to your own life. Your struggles, my beloved, will be your greatest testimony. The feeling of being an imposter is born of the belief that you must present a finished, perfect product to the world. But I'm calling you to a different kind of authenticity. The authenticity of one who is a work in progress, a masterpiece in the making, a soul that is being beautifully, powerfully saved by grace. Not just once, but every single day. This is a far more relatable and a far more hopeful story to tell. The energy you have spent on hiding your struggle has been immense. Imagine what will happen when all that energy is now freed up, available to be used for loving, for creating, for serving, This is a liberation I am bringing you. A liberation from the exhausting work of image management, and a freedom to simply be your true, authentic, struggling, and yet victorious self. Your shame has told you that your story is a story of weakness. But my truth is that your story is a story of my strength being made perfect in your weakness. Your story is not about your own heroic ability to overcome. It is a story about my heroic ability to sustain, to heal, and to redeem. And that is a story that brings all glory to me and a profound peace to you. So begin to look upon your own struggles with a new compassion, a new perspective. See them as I see them, as the training ground of a beautiful warrior, as the refining fire of a precious soul, as the sacred, fertile ground from which a magnificent and powerful testimony is even now beginning to grow. Your struggles have not been a detour from your purpose. They have been the very path to it. The world may have made you feel that your struggles make you a liability. But I'm telling you that they make you an asset in my kingdom. You are now qualified with a PhD from the University of your own suffering to minister to others in a way that those who have known only ease never can. Your wounds, when healed by me, will give you a credibility and an authority that is priceless. The shame has been a heavy cloak that has hidden your true light. But as you begin to embrace this new understanding, as you begin to see your struggles as the very substance of your testimony, that cloak will begin to fall away. And the light that will shine from you will be a light that is authentic. That is relatable. That is real. And it will be a light that will lead many others out of their own private darkness. This is the glorious purpose of your struggle. My child, it is for your own transformation and for the healing of the world. My precious child, having acknowledged with you the profound and lonely shame that has accompanied your secret struggles, having validated the feeling that these weaknesses and failures have been a source of your disqualification, I must now lift your gaze from the mud and the blood of the battlefield and show you what my eyes have been watching all along. For where you have seen a shameful failure, I have seen a valiant warrior. Where you have seen a desolate struggle, I have seen a sacred training ground. While your own eyes have been focused on your every wound, your every stumble, my proud and loving gaze has been fixed upon the incredible courage, the tenacious resilience, and the beautiful, emerging strength of your valiant warrior heart. You have looked upon yourself with the critical eye of a judge, but I have looked upon you with the proud eye of a loving commander who has sent his beloved soldier into a difficult but necessary training. You have been looking at the dust and the grime of the training ground and have mistaken it for a permanent stain upon your character. But I see it for what it is, the honorable evidence of a good fight, the beautiful dirt of a soul that has been wrestling with great things. Let me now reframe your entire experience. My child, let me show you what I have been seeing while you have been struggling. You have seen a series of failures. I have seen a warrior in training. Every time you have stumbled, every time your own strength has failed you, every time you have fallen short of your own ideals, you have recorded it in your own ledger as a failure. But I have recorded it differently. In my ledger, these moments are not failures. They are sparring sessions. They are the necessary, practical lessons in the curriculum of a warrior's education. A swordsman does not learn his art by reading books. He learns it by sparring, by being disarmed, by learning from his mistakes. A soldier does not become battle-hardened in the safety of the barracks. They become so on the difficult, muddy terrain of the training field. So it has been with you. The struggles you have endured have not been a series of random defeats. They have been a divinely orchestrated training ground, designed by my love to teach you, to strengthen you, to prepare you for your destiny. The failures have been my most effective teachers, showing you the limits of your own strength and teaching you to rely on mine. The mistakes have been my most profound lessons, revealing the hidden weaknesses in your own defenses and teaching you a deeper wisdom. You have not been failing. My child, you have been learning. You have been training. And you have been becoming a warrior of immense skill and profound resilience. You have seen your fear as cowardice. I have seen it as the worthy opponent that has forged your courage. You have been ashamed of your fear, believing a true warrior would be fearless. But a warrior who feels no fear is not brave. They are simply unaware of the danger. True courage, my beloved, is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act in the face of fear. And I have witnessed you, time and time again, perform acts of breathtaking courage. I saw you tremble with fear and still choose to take the next step. I saw your heart pound with anxiety and still choose to speak the word of love. I saw you feel the terror of the unknown and still choose to place your trust in me. These are the victories that I celebrate. Your fear has been a divine sparring partner. It has come against you, and in wrestling with it, you have discovered a courage you did not know you possessed. Every time you have chosen to not let your fear have the final say, you have won a great victory, a victory that has strengthened your spirit and brought great joy to my heart. I see not your fear, but your beautiful, hard-won, and magnificent courage. You have seen your weariness as weakness. I have seen it as the honorable fatigue of a faithful soldier. You have looked upon your own exhaustion, your own depletion, and have judged yourself for it, believing you should be stronger, that you should have more stamina. But I look upon your weariness with a profound sense of honor and of pride, for your weariness is a testament to the fact that you have not given up, that you have remained in the battle, that you have been giving your all, the soldier who returns from a long and arduous campaign, their uniform tattered, their body weary, their spirit exhausted, is not met with shame, but with honor. For their very weariness is the proof of their faithfulness, the evidence of the great fight they have endured. So it is with you. My child, your spiritual exhaustion is not a sign of your weakness. It is a badge of honor, a beautiful testament to your incredible, tenacious perseverance. I am proud of your weariness, for it speaks of your great love and your great faithfulness. And it is this very weariness that now makes you so perfectly ready to receive my deep and restorative rest. You have seen your struggles as your disqualification. I have seen them as your perfect qualification. You have believed that your wounds, your scars, your history of struggle have made you unfit for my service, that I could only use those who are whole, who are strong, who are perfect. Oh, my beloved, what a profound misunderstanding of my ways. For I do not choose the self-sufficient. I choose the yielded. I do not empower the proud. I empower the humble. I do not use the ones who have never been wounded. I use the ones who have allowed me to heal their wounds. For they are the ones who can now minister my healing to others with an authentic and compassionate heart. Your struggles have not been your disqualification. They have been your divine ordination. The very places where you have felt most weak are the very places where my strength will now be most powerfully displayed through you. The very wounds you have sustained are the very places from which a profound empathy and a credible wisdom will now flow. The very darkness you have navigated is what has qualified you to now be a guide for others who are lost in their own night. Your struggles have not pushed you away from your purpose. They have been the very path that has led you to its heart. So you see, my child, my perspective on your journey has been entirely different from your own. While you have been consumed with a sense of your own failure, I have been consumed with a sense of pride in my valiant warrior. While you have been focused on your wounds, I have been focused on your courage. While you have seen a shameful struggle, I have seen a sacred training ground. I invite you now to let go of your own harsh and inaccurate assessment and to embrace mine. See yourself as I see you. You are not a failure. You are a trainee who has graduated with the highest honors. You are not a coward. You are a hero who has faced down great fears. You are not weak. You are a warrior whose strength is now rooted in an eternal and all-powerful source. You are not disqualified. You have been perfectly, beautifully, and powerfully qualified by the very struggles you have so faithfully endured. This is the truth, my beloved, and as you embrace it, you will find yourself standing in a new and glorious authority, the authority of a warrior who knows they are deeply loved, profoundly honored, and celebrated by their king. My role in your training has been that of a loving but firm commander. I have designed the training course specifically for you, knowing the exact challenges that would produce the greatest strength in you. And I have been with you in every moment, not to push you beyond what you could bear, but to ensure that every challenge served its purpose, that every struggle produced its beautiful fruit of character. My pride in you is that of a master swordsmith who, after a long and arduous process of heating and hammering, now beholds a blade that is perfectly tempered, beautifully balanced, and ready for a noble purpose. The world may not see this. It sees only your scars, your weariness, and it may judge you for them. But the world does not understand the ways of a warrior, the process by which true strength is forged. Let go of the need for their approval. Their opinion is based on a superficial and ignorant assessment. My opinion, the opinion of your commander who has been with you in every moment of the fight, is the only one that truly matters. And my opinion is one of profound, unwavering, and celebratory pride. This is the great reframing of your life. Your struggles have not been a series of unfortunate events. They have been a purposeful, divine curriculum. And your life is not a story of defeat. It is the epic tale of a valiant warrior being forged. Own this identity, my child. It is your truth, and it is your glory. When you look back on your past, Do not see a field of your failures. See the training ground where your victory was won. See the sacred space where you learned the most important lessons of your life. See the place where you discovered the beautiful, resilient, and valiant heart that has always been within you, and that has now been revealed in all its glory through the very struggles you have endured. This is the truth that sets you free from the shame of your past. Your past was not your shame. It was the very making of your strength. And now, as a trained, tested, and victorious warrior, you are ready to step into the new and glorious purpose for which this entire sacred struggle has been your perfect preparation. My beloved and valiant warrior, now that you have begun to see your journey, not with the harsh eye of your own self-criticism, but with my proud and loving gaze, now that you know that your struggles have not been a sign of your failure, but the very training ground of your victory, let us now unveil the beautiful and miraculous process by which this transformation occurs. For you have looked upon your struggles, your pain, your weariness, and have seen only a history of suffering, a story you would rather forget. But I am here to reveal to you the sacred alchemy of redeemed pain, the divine and purposeful process by which I, your loving God, am taking the very raw material of your deepest struggles and transforming it into a powerful, life-giving, and glorious testimony. Nothing has been wasted. My child, the very pain that you thought was your undoing is becoming the very substance of your most powerful message, your most beautiful offering to the world. The world does not understand this alchemy. It sees suffering as a negative, a waste, a meaningless tragedy to be avoided or medicated away. It believes that a powerful testimony can only come from a life of uninterrupted success and untroubled ease. But I, who am the master alchemist, I know the profound and beautiful secrets of my own redemptive economy. I know that the most potent medicines are often derived from the most poisonous plants, that the most brilliant light often shines from the deepest darkness, and that the most powerful testimonies of my grace are always born from the crucible of a great and difficult struggle. Your suffering has not been a detour from your purpose. It has been the very source of the raw materials for it. Let us explore this sacred alchemy together so that you may see your own story with the new, reverent eyes. The first step in this process has been my gathering of the raw materials. I have been with you in every moment of your struggle, and I have wasted nothing. Every tear you have wept, every fear you have wrestled with, every prayer you have whispered in the dark, every moment of your patient endurance, every lesson you have learned through painful experience, I have gathered all of it. In your eyes, these may have been just the messy, painful debris of your trial, but in my eyes, they have been the precious, potent, raw ingredients, the sacred herbs and minerals that I have been collecting for this great alchemical work. I have honored every part of your experience, knowing that each element, even the most painful, held within it a hidden potential for beauty and for power. Secondly, my beloved, I have placed all of these raw materials into the crucible of my loving presence. A great transformation requires a sacred and powerful container, a vessel that can withstand the intense heat and pressure of the alchemical process. My own constant, loving, and unconditional presence with you has been that crucible. I have held you and your struggles, within the safe and unbreakable container of my own being. This is why you have not been utterly consumed by your trials. This is why your spirit has not shattered under the immense pressure. You have been held, and within the sacred space of my embrace, the transformative work has been able to proceed. The third stage of this alchemy has been the application of the purifying fire of my love. I have taken the raw material of your suffering, which has been contaminated with the toxins of bitterness, of self-pity, of shame, of fear, and I have subjected it to the purifying flame of my own unconditional love. This is a fire that does not destroy the substance, but refines it. It burns away the dross, separating what is of eternal value from what is merely the residue of your pain. My loving fire has burned away the bitterness that may have clung to your memories, leaving only the pure, distilled essence of the wisdom you have gained. It has burned away the shame that has coated your failures, leaving only the beautiful, humble character that has been forged. It has burned away the poison of your fear, leaving only the potent, resilient strength of a faith that has been tested and has proven true. This purifying work, my child, has been essential. It has ensured that the testimony that emerges from your struggle will be a clean, holy, and life-giving message, free from the contamination of any lingering resentment or despair, and from this purified substance. My child, I have been engaged in the delicate art of distilling the potent essence of your wisdom, just as a master perfumer takes tons of rose petals and, through a slow and patient process of distillation, extracts a single, small vial of the most precious and potent rose oil. So too have I been distilling the essence of your experiences. The long years of your struggle, the many painful lessons, the countless tears, are being concentrated, refined, into a pure and powerful elixir of authentic, hard-won wisdom. This is a wisdom that is not theoretical, but is deeply, powerfully real. It is the wisdom of one who knows, from their own experience, the faithfulness of God in the darkness. It is the wisdom of one who has learned the true nature of strength, of peace, of joy. It's a distilled essence of your journey is the active ingredient, the potent medicine of your testimony. It is what will give your story its power to heal, its authority to bring hope, its capacity to truly, deeply transform the lives of others. And finally, my beloved, this distilled, potent essence of your redeemed struggle is now being placed into the beautiful, unique vessel of your own personal story, creating your magnificent testimony. Your testimony is not just a collection of your sufferings, it is the powerful, healing remedy that has been created from them. It is the beautiful, fragrant oil that has been pressed from the very olives of your afflictions. It is the rich, fortifying wine that has been produced from the very grapes that were crushed in the winepress of your trial. This is the great and glorious alchemy of redeemed pain. I have taken the very worst of your life, the very things you have most hated, most feared, most been ashamed of, and I am transforming them into the very best of your life, your most powerful message, your most beautiful gift, your most profound purpose. So when you look back upon your struggles, my child, do not see them with shame any longer. See them with a new and holy reverence. See them as the sacred, raw materials that have made your powerful testimony possible. Understand that your pain has not been in vain. It has been the necessary, purposeful, and profoundly fruitful process by which your life is being transformed from a story of private suffering into a public testament of my glorious, redeeming grace. The alchemy is nearing its completion, and the beautiful, healing, and life-giving testimony that is your own life is now ready to be poured out for a thirsty and waiting world. The world will not understand this alchemy. It will see your past wounds and see only damage. It will hear your story of struggle and see only tragedy. But those who are hurting, those who are struggling, those who are lost in their own darkness, they will see something else. They will see in your scars the beautiful, golden seams of my healing grace. They will hear in your story the ring of an authentic hope, and they will feel from your presence the warm, healing light of a soul that has been through the fire and has emerged, not just intact, but more beautiful, more compassionate, and more powerful than before. This is the purpose that redeems all your pain. Your struggle has not just been for you, it has been for them. It has been my loving way of preparing you, of equipping you to be a uniquely effective minister of my grace. You now have a credibility, an authority that no one else possesses. You can speak to the brokenhearted with the authority of one who has known a broken heart. You can speak to the fearful with the authority of one who has wrestled with great fear. Your struggles have become your credentials in the kingdom of my love. This is a profound and holy mystery. My child, that your greatest weakness has become your greatest strength, that your deepest pain has become your most powerful message, that your personal struggle has become your public testimony. This is the beauty of my redemptive work. I waste nothing. So embrace your story now, my beloved, all of it, the darkness and the light, the sorrow and the joy, the struggle and the victory, for it is all in my hands, being woven into a single, beautiful, and powerful testament to my grace. Your life is the sermon. Your experience is the evidence. And your redeemed struggles are the glorious, undeniable proof that I am a God who can take any story, any pain, any ruin, and transform it into a magnificent testimony of my love. The testimony I'm creating from your struggles is not just a story of your endurance. It is a story of my faithfulness. It is not just a story of your strength. It is a story of my grace being made perfect in your weakness. It is a story that will always point back to me, the divine alchemist, the one who has performed this beautiful, miraculous work. Let go of any shame that still clings to your past. It has been sanctified. It has been repurposed. It has been transformed. It is now a holy thing, a sacred instrument that I will use for my glory and for the healing of many. Your struggles have not defined you. They have refined you. And now, they will be the very substance of your beautiful and powerful testimony. My beloved child, as your heart begins to receive the beautiful truth that your struggles are the very raw material for your powerful testimony, as you start to understand the sacred alchemy by which I am redeeming your pain, let us now focus on the most visible evidence of your journey, your scars. For you have looked upon the healed wounds of your past, the memories of your deepest struggles, and you have seen them as marks of shame, as disfigurements upon your soul, as ugly reminders of your brokenness that you must strive to hide from the world, and perhaps even from yourself. But I'm here to tell you a truth of breathtaking, transformative beauty. Your scars, my precious child, are not your shame. In my kingdom, in my eyes, your scars will become your crown. The very places where you were most deeply broken, now mended by my grace, will become the very source of your greatest beauty, your most profound authority, and your most radiant light. The world teaches you to worship the flawless, the unblemished, the unbroken. It sees a scar as a sign of imperfection, of damage, of a lesser value. And so, you have learned to hide your wounds, to cover your scars, to present to the world an illusion of seamless perfection, fearing that if your history of brokenness were truly seen, you would be judged as less than, as damaged goods. But I, the divine artist who creates masterpieces from broken pieces, I see with a different vision. I see not your imperfection, but the beautiful story of your resilience. I see not your damage, but the exquisite artistry of my own healing grace. In the East, there's a beautiful art form known as kintsugi. When a precious piece of pottery is broken, the artisans do not throw it away, nor do they try to glue the pieces back together in a way that hides the cracks. Instead, they meticulously, lovingly, mend the vessel with a lacquer that is mixed with pure, shining gold, and the result is a piece of pottery that is not only restored to wholeness, but is now considered even more beautiful, more valuable, more precious, because it was broken. The lines of its past brokenness are not hidden. They are illuminated, transformed into a beautiful, golden, and intricate part of its unique and celebrated history. This, my beloved, is the art I have been performing upon your very soul. You have been shattered by the trials of your life, but I have not discarded you. And I'm not just repairing you to your former state. I am a kintsugi master, and I have been taking the pure, molten gold of my own divine love, my own healing grace, and I have been carefully, tenderly, filling every single crack, every fissure, every broken place within your heart. And the scars that remain are not ugly marks of your past trauma. They are beautiful, luminous, golden seams that are now the most intricate, the most valuable, and the most glorious feature of a magnificent work of art that you are becoming. Your scars, my child, will become your crown. This crown is a multifaceted jewel, its beauty shining in many different ways. Firstly, your scars are the crown of your authenticity. In a world so full of masks, of facades, of people pretending to be perfect, your healed wounds make you beautifully, refreshingly real. They give you a depth, a gravitas, that a life of unblemished ease could never possess. People will be drawn to you, not because you are perfect, but precisely because you're not. And you're not afraid to gently, wisely, own the story of your mending. Your scars will give others permission to be real, to be broken, to be in process. They will see in your golden seams the hope that their own broken pieces can also be transformed into a thing of beauty. Your authenticity, born of your healed wounds, will be a profound gift to a world that is so weary of pretense. Secondly, your scars are the crown of your compassion. It is one thing to offer sympathy from a distance. It is another thing entirely to offer empathy from a place of shared experience. Because your own heart has been broken and has been mended by my grace. You now possess a profound and credible ability to minister to the brokenhearted. You can touch the wounds of others with a gentleness, an understanding, a tenderness that can only be born of having known such wounds yourself. Your scars are silent language that speaks directly to the hearts of the suffering. They say, without a single word, I understand. I have been where you are, and there's hope. There's healing. This compassionate authority, this beautiful ability to be a wounded healer, is a direct result of the golden grace that has filled the cracks of your own heart. Thirdly, my child, your scars are the crown of your authority, your testimony, which, as we have said, is being forged from your struggles, will now carry an unshakable authority because of your scars. You will not speak of my grace as a theological concept. You will speak of it as a lived reality, and your own healed wounds will be the beautiful, undeniable proof. You will not speak of my healing power as a distant hope. You will be a walking, breathing testament to its transformative reality. When you speak of how beauty can emerge from ashes, your words will carry the weight of authenticity. For you yourself are that beauty. Your scars give you a credibility that cannot be challenged, an authority that cannot be denied. They are your divine credentials, proving that you are a seasoned veteran of my kingdom, an expert in the ways of my grace, a qualified ambassador of my redemptive love. And finally, my beloved, know that your scars, these golden seams of grace, are, in my eyes, the crown of your greatest beauty. I, the divine artist, look upon you, my mended vessel, and I do not see a flawed or damaged object. I see a masterpiece of my own restorative art. I see a beauty that is more profound, more interesting, more filled with story, more radiant with my own light than a simple, unbroken vessel could ever be. The very lines that trace your past pain are now the very lines that most magnificently display the glory of my grace. You are beautiful to me, my child, not in spite of your scars, but because of them. They are the unique signature of my love upon you, the mark of our shared journey of healing, the beautiful evidence of our intimate, restorative work together. So I invite you now, my beloved, to change your relationship with your own scars. Do not hide them. Do not be ashamed of them. Do not see them as marks of your failure. See them as I see them. See them as your crown. See them as the source of your authenticity, your compassion, your authority, and your most profound beauty. When you remember your past wounds, do so not with the cringe of shame, but with a quiet sense of awe and gratitude for the golden grace that has filled them. To honor your scars is to honor my work in you. It is to celebrate the beautiful, redemptive truth that I am a God who does not discard the broken, but who makes the broken places the very site of his most glorious and beautiful artistry. Wear your crown with a humble and a joyful dignity, my child, for your scars are the proof that your struggles have not been in vain, but have been transformed into a glorious, eternal, and breathtaking testimony to the magnificent, restorative love of your God. The world may continue to see your scars as signs of weakness. Let it. You are no longer living by its superficial standards. You are living by the eternal standards of a kingdom where strength is perfected in weakness, where beauty is born from brokenness, where the greatest glory is found in the story of redemption, This crown of yours is a heavy crown. Yes, for it has been forged from great suffering. But it is also a crown of immense light, a diadem that shines with the very glory of my grace. And as you learn to wear it, you will find it is not a burden, but a source of your greatest strength and your most profound purpose. Every time you share your story from a place of healed wholeness, every time you offer your compassion to another wounded soul, every time you stand in the quiet authority of your own experience, you are allowing the light from the golden seams of your scars to shine out into the world. And that light is a light of immense hope, a light that can guide many others out of their own darkness. Your testimony is not just in the words you will speak, but on the very being you have become. You are a work of kintsugi art, a living masterpiece of redeemed brokenness, and your very presence in the world will be a beautiful, powerful, and constant declaration of my love, my grace, and my glorious restorative power. This is the crown you have been given. Wear it for my glory. My beloved child, as you begin to embrace the profound and beautiful truth that your scars are not your shame, but your crown, that the very places where you are most broken are being transformed by my grace into your most radiant features. A new and holy purpose begins to emerge from the ashes of your past, for your redeemed struggle is not meant to be a private, secret victory. It is destined to become a powerful, life-giving message to the world. And now, my child, after a long season of silent suffering, you are beginning to speak. I invite you now to become aware of the first words of your new message, the initial, subtle signs that your testimony is beginning to form. These are the moments when you find yourself able to speak of your past with a new peace. When you offer a word of authentic hope to another, when you feel the first stirrings of a new purpose rising from the very heart of your pain. These are the first beautiful syllables of your testimony, and they are the proof that your struggles are indeed being transformed into a glorious, healing message of my love. For so long, the story of your struggle has been a story you could not tell, a story that was trapped in your own heart by the gatekeepers of shame and of pain. To even think of it was to risk being overwhelmed. But now, as the alchemy of my grace has done its deep and quiet work, you will begin to find that your relationship to your own story is changing. The old toxic charge is being neutralized, and you are being given a new and beautiful ability to speak. Perhaps the very first word of your new message is spoken in the form of a new and peaceful memory. You may find yourself recalling an aspect of your past struggle, and you will notice something miraculous. It no longer has the same power to wound you. Where once there was a sharp, stabbing pain, there's now a quiet, gentle ache, or perhaps even a serene sense of peace. The memory is still there, but its emotional fangs have been removed by my grace. You are able to look upon your own past suffering, not as a victim who is still trapped in it, but as a wise, compassionate observer who has been brought through it. This, my child, is a profound and significant sign. It is the first indication that you are becoming the narrator of your own redemptive story, rather than the prisoner of your own tragic one. This ability to speak of your past, even to yourself, without being re-traumatized, is the foundational word upon which your entire testimony will be built. You may also find the first words of your new message emerging as you offer a moment of authentic hope to another. You might be in a conversation with a friend who is in the midst of their own struggle, a struggle that mirrors your own past pain, and in that moment, without planning it, without striving, you will find a word of genuine encouragement, of true wisdom, rising from your heart to your lips. It will not be a shallow platitude or an easy cliche. It will be a word that carries the weight of your own experience, the authority of your own survival, the beauty of your own redeemed pain. You might hear yourself say, "I know how much that hurts. I have been there. But I can tell you that God is faithful, that healing is possible, that the darkness will not have the final say." In that moment, my beloved, you are speaking the first beautiful sentences of your testimony. You are taking the distilled essence of your own hard-won wisdom and are offering it as a cup of cool, life-giving water to another thirsty soul. This is not you trying to be a counselor. This is the natural, effortless overflow of the compassionate heart that my grace has forged in you. And you will be amazed at the power that these simple, authentic words will have to bring comfort and hope to others. This is the beginning of your struggle being transformed from your private pain into a public blessing. Look also for the first words of your new message in an emerging sense of purpose born from your pain. As you begin to experience this new peace with your own story, as you begin to see its power to bring hope to others, a new and beautiful thought may begin to dawn in your mind. It is the thought that says, "Perhaps this is why. Perhaps all that I have endured was not just a meaningless trial, but a necessary preparation. Perhaps I was led through the specific fire so that I could now become a guide for others who are walking the same path." This, my child, is a moment of profound, divine revelation. It is the moment when your struggle is fully transfigured from a tragedy into a calling. It is the moment you begin to see your life not as a series of random, painful events, but as a coherent and purposeful narrative, authored by a wise and loving God who intended, all along, to use your deepest wounds as the source of your greatest ministry. This dawning sense of purpose is me, your author, revealing to you the central theme of your next glorious chapter. It is the powerful, life-giving why that redeems every what of your past suffering, and you'll find these first words emerging in your own new and transformed inner narrative. For so long, the story you have told yourself about yourself has been one of failure, of weakness, of shame. But now, you will begin to find that inner story changing. You will catch yourself thinking new thoughts instead of, "I am a failure because that happened." You may find yourself thinking, "I am a survivor and I'm stronger because of what I endured," instead of, "I am broken and flawed." You may find yourself thinking, "My scars are a testament to the healing power of my God." This shift in your inner dialogue, my child, is you learning to speak the language of your own testimony to your own soul. You are practicing the new, redemptive story that I am writing in your life. You are aligning your own self-perception with my own vision of you as a valiant, victorious, and beautiful warrior. This new inner narrative is the essential rehearsal for the powerful, public testimony you are being called to share. For you cannot speak a message of hope to the world that you have not first learned to speak to your own heart. These, my beloved, are the first, beautiful, and powerful words of your new message. They are the initial evidence that your struggles are indeed being transformed into your testimony. I invite you to cherish these moments when you find yourself speaking of your past with a new peace, when you offer a word of authentic hope to another, when you feel that new sense of purpose dawning, when you hear that new redemptive story being told in your own mind. Recognize these as the sacred and significant beginnings they are. Do not be afraid of this emerging testimony. Do not feel that you are not yet healed enough or wise enough to speak. Your testimony's power lies not in your perfection, but in its authenticity. It is a story of a real human being who has known a real struggle and who has been met in that struggle by a real and powerful God. And that is a story the world is desperately longing to hear. You are my message. My child, your life is my letter of love to a hurting world. And your struggles have not been a flaw in the message. They have been the very ink with which it's most powerful, most compelling, and most beautiful words have been written. The silence of your shame is being broken, and the beautiful, life-giving voice of your testimony is now beginning to speak. The world offers testimonies of effortless success, of untroubled lives, but these stories often create despair in those who are struggling, for they feel so unattainable. But your story, the story of your struggle, is a testimony that brings true, accessible hope. It tells others that they do not have to be perfect to be loved, that they do not have to be without wounds to be used by me, that their own present darkness can also be a place of transformation. This is the great and holy purpose. I am redeeming from your pain. I am making your life a bridge, a connection between my grace and the hearts of those who feel they are too broken to receive it. Your scars will be their proof. Your peace will be their hope. And your story will be their guide. As you begin to speak these first words of your new message, you will find a new power flowing through you. It is the power of my own Spirit, anointing your words, anointing your very presence with a grace that heals, that comforts, that liberates. You will be speaking not from your own limited wisdom, but from the deep well of your own redeemed experience. And those words will carry a weight, an authority, a power that is truly divine. So do not be afraid. My child, your struggles have been your preparation. And now, the time for the beautiful, purposeful expression of all you have learned is at hand. Your testimony is a precious gift, both to you and to the world. And it is a gift that is even now beginning to be unwrapped. Every time you choose to reframe your past with peace, you are practicing your testimony. Every time you choose to use your pain to comfort another, you are delivering your testimony. This is not a formal speech you must prepare. It is a life you are now called to live. A life that naturally, beautifully, and powerfully testifies to my redemptive, victorious love. The shame that once silenced you is being transformed into the very authority that now empowers you to speak. This is the great and beautiful reversal of my kingdom. And you, my beloved, are its living, breathing, and glorious proof. Your struggles have become your strength, and they will now be your song, my precious child, as the first. Beautiful words of your new message begin to form in your heart and upon your lips as you feel the initial stirrings of a new purpose emerging from the very ashes of your past struggles. I now invite you into a deeper and more powerful ownership of the magnificent story I'm writing with your life. For so long, you have been ashamed of your story. You have sought to hide its painful chapters. You have wished you could tear out its pages of struggle and of failure. But now, as you begin to understand the sacred alchemy of my grace, you are invited to a new and liberating practice, the art of learning to own your whole story, including the struggles, not with the spirit of shame, but with the quiet, humble confidence of one who knows its profound and redemptive purpose. This, my beloved, is the journey of seeing your very life as a message that I am crafting, and of becoming a willing, joyful, and powerful narrator of that beautiful, life-giving tale. To own your story is a profound act of spiritual maturity and of freedom. It is the moment you stop being a victim of your own history and you become its loving, wise, and empowered steward. It is the moment you look upon all that you have been through, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the painful, and you say, with a new and settled peace in your soul, this is my story, and in the hands of my God. It is a good story, a story that is being used for a glorious purpose. This is the path to your complete healing and to your most powerful ministry. How do you learn to own your story in this new and beautiful way? It begins, my beloved, with the conscious and courageous release of the old narrative of shame. You have been telling yourself a story about your struggles, a story that has been authored by fear and by the judgments of the world. It is a story that says your struggles are a sign of your weakness, your failure, your disqualification. And as long as you continue to believe and to rehearse this shame-based narrative, you will never be able to own your story with joy or with power. And so, you must, with my help, consciously choose to stop telling that old story when it arises in your mind. You must learn to recognize it as a falsehood, a lie that no longer has any authority over you. You can say to that old narrative, no, I will not partner with you any longer. I will not give you the power of my belief. For my God has shown me a truer story, a more beautiful story. This is a profound act of changing your own inner testimony. It is you choosing to testify to the truth of my grace, rather than to the lie of your own shame, as you consistently refuse to give energy to the old, shame-filled narrative. It will begin to lose its power, to fade away, like a ghost that can no longer find anyone to haunt. As you release the old narrative, I invite you to joyfully embrace the new, redemptive narrative that I have revealed to you. This is the story that says your struggles have been your training ground, that your wounds have become your wisdom, that your failures have been the very means of your humbling and your strengthening, that your pain has been the raw material for your compassion. This is the true story, the one that is being written from heaven's perspective. To embrace this story is to make it your own. It is to learn to tell it to yourself over and over again until it becomes your new, natural, and deeply believed reality. When you look back on a past failure, You can consciously choose to see it not as a source of shame, but as the moment you learned a priceless lesson in humility and reliance on me. When you remember a season of profound sorrow, you can choose to see it as the very experience that carved a new and beautiful capacity for empathy into your heart. To embrace this redemptive narrative is to see your entire life through the loving, purposeful, and artistic eyes of your divine author. And as you do, you will find your past being healed, your present being filled with a new peace, and your future being open to a new and glorious purpose. A vital part of owning your story, my child, is learning to speak from your healed scars, not from your open wounds. There is a profound difference. To speak from an open wound is to speak from a place of raw, unprocessed pain. It can often be a cry for help, a way of seeking comfort, and there's a sacred and necessary time for this. But a testimony that is offered from an open wound can sometimes be a source of trauma, both for you and for those who hear it. But to speak from a healed scar is to speak from a place of peace, of perspective, of a victory that has been won. The scar is the evidence that the wound has been closed, that the healing has taken place, that the story has moved from a place of tragedy to a place of redemption. Your testimony will have its greatest power, its most healing impact, when you learn to share it from this place of your own healed wholeness. This means being patient with your own process. It means allowing me the time to do my deep, restorative work in you, to apply the balm of my love, to fill the cracks with my golden grace. And then, when you are ready, when you can speak of your past struggles without being re-traumatized by them, when you can share your story not with the frantic energy of your own unresolved pain, but with the quiet, peaceful authority of a soul that has been brought through, then your testimony will be a thing of immense and beautiful power. It will be a clean and clear channel of my hope, my healing, and my love to others. And finally, my beloved, to own your story is to understand your life as my message to the world. You are my poem. You are my song. You are my living epistle, a letter of my love, known and read by all men, and your story, in all its unique and beautiful detail, is the message that I have chosen to write to a world that desperately needs to hear of my grace, my power, my redemption. To embrace this truth is to be set free from the small, personal shame of your own struggles, and to see your life in the context of my grand and beautiful purpose. Your struggle with fear was not just your struggle. It is part of a message of my peace that I want to speak to an anxious world through you. Your struggle with failure was not just your personal failure. It is part of a message of my grace that I want to speak to a world that is crushed by the burden of perfectionism. Your struggle with sorrow was not just your private grief. It is part of a message of my comfort that I want to speak to a world of broken hearts. When you understand this, your life takes on a new and holy dignity. You are no longer just a struggling individual. You are a messenger of the King, an ambassador of hope. And your testimony is not just your personal story. It is a sacred, anointed, and powerful message that carries the very life of God within it. To own your story in this way is to embrace your divine calling, to step into your sacred purpose, and to become my joyful and powerful partner in the great work of healing and redeeming the world. This, my beloved, is the beautiful art of learning to own your story. It is a journey of releasing shame, of embracing a redemptive narrative, of speaking from a place of healing, and of understanding your life as my message. As you walk this path, you will find yourself liberated from the prison of your own past and empowered to live with a new and glorious sense of purpose. For your struggles have not been your shame. They have been your sanctification. They have not been your disqualification. They have been your ordination. And they are not a story to be hidden, but a beautiful, powerful, and life-giving testimony that you are now called to share for my glory and for the healing of many. This is a profound act of faith. It is choosing to believe that I, your God, am a masterful enough author to weave even the darkest, most painful threads of your life into a tapestry of breathtaking beauty and meaning. It is trusting that my redemptive purpose is greater than your personal pain. As you own your story, you will find that it loses its power to own you. The shame will dissolve, the fear will recede, and you will be left with only the beautiful, powerful truth of a life that has been touched by fire and has been transformed by grace. This is the essence of your testimony. And don't be afraid of how others will receive your story. Some may not understand, but there will be those for whom your testimony will be a lifeline, a key that unlocks their own prison, a word of hope that they have been desperately waiting to hear. You are not responsible for how your message is received. You are only responsible for being a faithful and courageous messenger. And I will always lead you to the very hearts that have been prepared to receive the beautiful, redemptive story that I have written with your life. Your struggles have been real, but the testimony that is emerging from them is more real, more powerful, and more lasting. Own it, my child. It is your crown of honor, your scepter of authority, your beautiful gift to the world. The greatest stories are always stories of redemption. And your life is becoming one of the greatest stories. It is a story that proves that no struggle is without purpose, that no pain is beyond redemption, and that no life, when placed in my hands, is anything less than a magnificent and powerful testimony to the relentless, creative, and victorious love of God. Embrace this truth, my beloved. Own your beautiful, sacred, and powerful story, for in doing so, you will find your own deepest healing, and you will become a source of immense healing for the world. My precious child, as you learn the beautiful and courageous art of owning your own story, as you release the old narrative of shame and embrace the new, redemptive narrative that I have written for you, the glorious purpose of your entire journey now comes into its full and magnificent manifestation. The struggles you once sought to hide, the pain you once believed was your disqualification, have now been transformed into your most powerful asset. And now, my beloved, you step into the beautiful and profound reality of a life that is a living testimony. This is the magnificent outcome of my grace in you, a life that becomes a powerful, authentic, and healing message of my love and my restorative power to a broken and struggling world. The freedom, the purpose, and the deep, abiding joy that comes from this is the great and glorious fulfillment of my promise that your struggles would be your testimony. The season of your secret battles is over. The time of hiding your scars is past, and now begins the season of your shining, of your speaking, of your being, your very life. In all its redeemed brokenness, now becomes the sermon you will preach, the song you will sing, the story you will tell, and is a story that the world is desperately longing to hear. Experience. First, what it means to live with a profound and clarified sense of purpose. For so long, you may have wandered, wondering what your life was for, feeling that your struggles had derailed you from any meaningful path. But now, you see with a new and brilliant clarity that your purpose was not derailed by your struggles. It was forged in them. Your divine assignment, your unique calling, is to be a testament to my grace, and the very experiences that you thought were a detour have, in fact, been the most direct and perfect path to this holy and beautiful vocation. This brings a new sense of meaning to everything you have endured. Nothing has been wasted. Every tear, every failure, every moment of despair has been redeemed, repurposed, and woven into the very fabric of your powerful, life-giving message. You will move through your days now, not with the old, aimless confusion, but with the quiet, joyful confidence of one who knows why they are here. Your purpose is no longer something you must search for. It is something that you now naturally, beautifully, and powerfully embody. From this place of purpose flows a glorious and authentic freedom. The shame that once kept you silent, the fear of judgment that once kept you hidden, has been vanquished by the beautiful, redemptive meaning that your story now holds. You no longer need to hide your past. You no longer need to pretend you have not struggled. For you know now that your struggles are not your shame. They are the very source of your strength, your wisdom, your compassion, and your authority. This is a freedom that is profound. It is the freedom to be completely, authentically you, with all your scars, all your history, all your hard-won wisdom. You are free from the exhausting burden of having to project an image of perfection. You can be real, and in your realness, you will be a source of immense liberation for others, giving them permission to be real, to be broken, to be in process as well. This is the magnificent freedom of a soul that has nothing left to hide. A soul whose entire story, in all its light and shadow, has been redeemed and made beautiful by the grace of God. And as you live in this freedom and this purpose, your life becomes a source of immense and healing impact upon the world. A testimony that is just words can be inspiring, but a testimony that is a life, a person, a presence, is transformative. You, my child, are now becoming that living testimony. The peace that you now carry, a peace that was forged in your own inner turmoil, will bring a palpable calm to the anxious souls you meet. The compassion that now flows from your heart, a compassion that was carved out by your own sorrow, will be a healing balm to the brokenhearted. The wisdom that now informs your words, a wisdom that was distilled in the crucible of your own failures, will be a guiding light to those who are lost in confusion. You will not have to strive to have this impact. It will flow from you as naturally as light flows from a flame. By simply being the strong, wise, compassionate, and redeemed person that your struggles have made you, you will be a powerful instrument of my healing in the world. Your life becomes my answer to the prayers of others. Your story becomes the evidence that gives them hope. Your redeemed struggles become the very medicine that brings healing to their own. This is the beautiful, sacred purpose for which you have been so perfectly and so lovingly prepared. And all of this, my beloved, culminates in a deep and abiding joy. It is the joy of a life that knows it has meaning. It is the joy of seeing your own deepest pain transformed into a source of healing for others. It is the joy of being a partner with me in the great and glorious work of redemption. This is not the fleeting happiness of easy circumstances, but the profound, substantial, and unshakable joy of a purposeful life. A life that has found its ultimate fulfillment in being a vessel of my love, my grace, and my hope. This joy will be your strength. It will be your song. It will be the radiant light that shines from your eyes, a light that tells the world a beautiful story, the story of a God who does not waste our pain, who does not abandon us in our struggles, but who lovingly, masterfully takes the very worst of our stories and transforms it into a magnificent, powerful, and life-giving testimony of his own glorious, redemptive love. This, my beloved warrior, is the beautiful outcome of your journey. Your struggles have not been your end. They have been the very means by which you have been fashioned into a living message of hope. The shame has been transformed into a holy authority. The pain has been alchemized into a profound purpose. And your life, which once felt like a story of defeat, is now, and for all your days, a beautiful, a powerful, and glorious living testimony. Live it now, my child. Speak it now. Be it now. For the glory of your God and for the healing of many. The world is desperate for authentic stories. It is weary of the illusion of perfection. It is hungry for a hope that is real, a hope that has been tested in the fires of real-life suffering. Your testimony is the very food that this hungry world needs. Do not ever believe it is insignificant. Your story has the power to save lives, to heal hearts, to reignite a faith that has grown cold. This is the sacred importance of the testimony that your life has now become. And in the sharing of this testimony, you will find your own healing deepening. For every time you tell your story from a place of redemption, you reinforce that redemptive truth within your own soul. Every time you use your past pain to bring comfort to another, your own past pain is further healed. This is the beautiful, reciprocal nature of my kingdom as you pour yourself out. You are filled anew. This is the ultimate victory over your past. The struggles that once sought to silence you, to isolate you, to destroy you, are now the very things that are giving you a voice, that are connecting you to others, that are giving your life its most profound and beautiful meaning. The enemy's greatest weapon against you has been transformed in my hands into your most powerful instrument of grace. So walk forward now, not as one who is defined by their struggles, but as one who has been empowered by them. Walk as a storyteller of my grace, a living witness to my love, a beautiful, powerful, and authentic testimony of the God who makes all things new. Your life is now a sacred text, a chapter in my great book of redemption that will be read by many. And as they read, they will find not a story of shame, but a story of glory, your glory in enduring, and my glory in redeeming. This is the purpose that was hidden in your pain, the meaning that was veiled in your struggle. It was all for this, for you to become this, a living, breathing, and beautiful testament to the truth that no struggle is in vain when it is surrendered to the hands of a loving, all-powerful, and infinitely redemptive God. Your testimony is your triumph, my child, and it is glorious. As you now embrace the beautiful, sacred purpose of your own redeemed story, my cherished child, let the profound peace of this new identity settle into your very soul. The long and often secret struggle, with all its accompanying shame and fear, has been brought into the light of my love and has been transformed, transfigured into a glorious and powerful testimony. Your past pain is no longer a source of your disqualification, but the very source of your divine authority. Your scars are not marks of your shame, but the beautiful, golden seams of your crown. And your life is no longer a story of defeat, but a magnificent message of hope, healing, and my redemptive power to a waiting world. Rest now in the quiet confidence of your new calling. My beloved, you are my messenger. You are my story. You are my living testimony, and the beautiful, purposeful, and life-giving message that your very being now proclaims will be a source of your own deepest joy and a blessing to many for all your days.